Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Well, I want you to look at my dirty knife while I talk to you about what I'm going to do today. First off, this knife got so dirty because of my last video where I was using the fat wood that you find in the roots of trees. So I did a lot of whittling of rotten wood and a lot of scraping of fat wood. And all that stuff. I just wanted to show you that all this stuff will come off with Purple Power sitting on the counter right there. Have you ever watched any of Keith H. Burgess's videos? He's got a 3-part series on how to find and identify punkwood. You know, he talks about anything that's unnaturally light colored or white that you find in the woods is worth examining to see if that's actually punkwood. And so I found, I think it's a Tulip Poplar branch that fell on the ground the other day. And you want to talk about something that's very light, very white, kind of stands out like a beacon. Let's go take a look at that today after I get my knife cleaned up and investigate it. Now we've had a lot of rain, so if it is punkwood, it's going to be wet, but you can still make charred punkwood out of wet punkwood. So don't ask me what happened to this little part of the handle right here. I won't mention any names, but I paid an extra $4 for this knife for it to come to me with a good 90-degree spine on it. And when it came to me, that tip that was ground off of it. And you could look at this edge right here, but still it wasn't a good 90-degree edge. There was some it rounded up to a flat spot on the top. So I went ahead and got my grinder out and straightened out the edge, and now I just touch it up with my sharpening stone. When I run the knife up against the stone in a linear fashion like that, it kind of evens out the grind. If the grind is kind of wavy, when you run it up and down like that, it kind of polishes it and evens it out. And then I'll go back and put just a little bit here. And when, you can tell when your stone is clogging up, I take the underside of my shirt and clean it out. And the stone starts to bite again. That right there is sharp. Let me show it to you. We'll go check out that punkwood. I want you to see how bright it is laying on the forest floor like that. Alright, we're down on the creek, and here's that tulip poplar I was telling you about. It's very, very white looking. You can't tell because of all this sunlight coming through the canopy, but that really stands out, especially the other day when I first found it and it was cloudy. That really shows up. Let's grab it up and take a look at it. Tulip poplar. Now good punkwood. I don't want to lose any of it. Good punkwood, like Keith was talking about in his video, and I'll leave that link in the description to part 1, and then you can find your way to part 2 and 3 on your own. But like you said, it's lightweight. It's going to stand out because it's the brightest thing in the woods. It's soft to the touch, and when you squeeze on it, it just springs right back. Which it would be more pronounced if this was dry, of how well it's springing right back. So we've got plenty here. Let's go start a fire and char some of it up. I got some highly degraded white oak here. Let's go ahead and do some feathers. I see now why people don't use oak for feathering. I thought with it being degraded like this, it might be a little bit easier. That's all right. I'll struggle along with it. We'll come up with something fine enough to ferro rod ignite. Let me put you on time lapse. Well, I had to leave and I just got back, so this is completely cooled off now. And I noticed on my video as I was going through the clips that I have that I'm missing the video where I took some of this good punkwood and showed you that there's like a hard outer covering on it. And I took and I just peeled it off. And on the inside was all this good punkwood. And we just took pieces of it and just broke it up. Now here's a hard core right here. So we won't use that, but I mean, you can get, there's a lot of good stuff on here. And this does happen to have a core on it right there. And just break it up small enough to get it in the can. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Let's try some out. All right, let's see what we can do with it now. Good stuff. All right, I'm just about out of pine needles. Let's use the newspaper tinder bundles, which I am well known for. Here and here. I'll just crack that chert in half. Now I got some good edges. Alright, can we get these scraps to ignite? Let's just see. Alright, y'all. I encourage you to go over and watch those 3 videos that Keith H. Burgess has done. That's what I use every time I go in the woods now. I do it without even thinking about it. I'm always scanning through the forest, and you'll be surprised how your eye just immediately is attracted to those lighter colors that you find out there on the floor, and like at the base of an old tree or something. So the link to his videos will be in the description. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.